Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of Dark Avenger Live. We are still setting up over here. Well, I'm still saying we. I'm still setting up over here, so that's why we're at the starting soon. So forgive me for 2 seconds as we prepare for another episode. I have no clue how my camera looks at this point because I'm still fixing things up. So apologies if when we first come back I'm not adjusting it to fit. So now that I'm here we go. Wow, I did a good job without even really needing to move the camera that much. Welcome everybody. Happy Friday. It is Dark Avenger Live time once again. I am here and we are here to talk about a lot of stuff going on in the comic realm. I've read so many books this week. I didn't even count them. 12 books. So I read 12 books this week, and actually I have 12 books to read this week. I actually still have a couple of those to truly read through. And actually, a few of them I added onto my list because of things that were brought to my attention about these books. So, sorry, I'm still getting situated. I shouldn't have said starting. But anyway, so big news today dropped. DC Comics has officially pulled away from previews, and I'm not going to spend too much time on this because I'm sure we will be talking about this on Comic Book Weekly, which is on Comic Frontline this coming Tuesday. I'm just going to share my initial thoughts on this because this is some big news. I mean, Diamond Distributing has been around since I started collecting comics. Previews have been in the comic shop. I started collecting back in, I think it was the late 90s. I want to say 98. I do, but then at the same time, I feel like it's earlier. But Diamond's been around for a very long time. And to see DC pulling away from Diamond, DC is one of the big two. DC is one of the bigger companies and a huge asset to lose. But DC Comics has decided to go with Lunar and DCS, or UCS, or whatever the hell Midtown is calling theirs. I like Lunar. I got to give props to DCBS. They did an amazing job calling themselves Lunar. But anyway, or I could be wrong and it's the other way around. But either way, I can't remember the other one. I don't care. It doesn't really impact the readers as much as it impacts the shops. But in a way, it does impact the readers, kind of. And I'll explain why I feel that way. But I feel like every week we do this. Every week I do Dark Avenger Live. I feel like it's Marvel trying to top DC and DC trying to top Marvel with the worst ideas. Last week, what's up? We got Roll in the chat. Mike, how are you doing? Hopefully you're having a wonderful, wonderful week. Just thinking about you this week, man. I was actually on Sea of Thieves for a little while, just chilling, and I was like, I was remembering the times in Sea of Thieves. We need to get back together at some point soon. Whether you're streaming on Bog or you're streaming by yourself now, I don't care. We definitely need to get back together at some point. And you need to stream again, man. I miss seeing you stream. For now, just there or there for now. So you need to get back to streaming, Mike. I miss seeing you stream from time to time. I may be quiet when I watch, but I'm there. So if you're not going to stream with Bog anymore, damn it, start streaming on something else, on your other channel. So anyway, I feel like every week. Last week we were talking about Marvel moving more stuff to a digital-only format, and no rise, no cook. That's good. That's the best. So I feel like at this point, I go there, but I don't see you streaming when I go on. So I guess I'm gonna have to be more attentive. But yeah, go to that channel, everybody, and subscribe to Roll. He's an awesome streamer. I found him years ago, and I don't regret it since. So. I don't know. I feel like last week we were talking about digital-only comics. Now we're back to talking digital. DC separating from Diamond, and Diamond, at least with the previews, you know how it goes. You order from your previews magazine, you get 35% off your comics, so you're able to buy more. I'm not saying, I want to pay less for my comics. No, you get that percentage off, so you can buy more. With that extra money you're saving, you can get more books, and for me, that's a huge deal because I love a lot of books. And if I had to pay cover price for all those books, I don't think I could afford to get all of those books. And now that DC has pulled away from Diamond and it's Midtown and DCBS making these new deals, Will they be the same? And I've already noticed this week I made my order with Midtown. As you all know, I'm buying comics weekly now. And actually, last week's order just came. I think this week's 2. I got to make sure. I got 2 boxes, so I'm going to check. But I noticed this week when I was making my order that certain books were not discounted at all. They were doing, asking price. And for the longest time that I've been ordering from Midtown Comics, it was always 15% off because you're pre-ordering, the week before's book, the week after's books. You're ordering a week before they come out. And I noticed that certain big name books did not have that percentage off anymore. AWA books did not. I'm buying AWA books. Legion of Superheroes did not. Oh, that's awesome, Roll. He's going live soon. If I'm not playing with the guys, I'll definitely pop on and check it out, man. But, what other books were there? I think Batman wasn't. There were a few. If you go on Midtown Comics for last week, you'll see there were not that many discounts. The books, normal, regular books, for some reason there were, and it was 12%. I could understand 12%, especially with comic shops being closed for so long. I can understand them wanting to, lower the percentage a little bit, but the fact that some books are still now cover price, it really makes me re-examine what I'm buying from DCBS, what I'm going to have to get in trade, and honestly, just what I'm getting in general. I was going to get several books. I know Faithless. I was going to get Faithless 2. I decided I'm probably going to move that to trade because there was not even 12% off on the book, and I would have bought it from DCBS. I would have started with DCBS if I would have known that, that was the case. Because, again, you save money in one place so you can get in another, or so you can get more. I don't know where Midtown's going. I don't know where DC thinks they're going at this point. But, it's one of those things where they're just DC and Marvel are like in competition with one another. And like I said last week, I give a humongous kudos to the independents for not changing, for just, moving forward, understanding that, hey, we had 2 months where we didn't distribute our books, but damn it, we're going to move forward and we're going to keep going strong. And they are. And God bless them for that. But I don't know. I mean, there was a lot I had planned moving forward when it came to single issue comic books. But the more that I shouldn't do that, because if I click it every 2 seconds, that's going to hurt the mic. But the more I see going on with DC and Marvel, the more I say that I think a lot of my Marvel and DC books are going to end up moving to a trade paperback hardcover format, because what books do I start collecting and then they turn digital only, and then I end up having to get the trade paperback anyway from Marvel or DC? What price am I going to be expecting when I do my 2 months in advance order? Because then it goes back to, well, I have a specific amount. And then when that amount is met, what books do I cut? This way I get the books I actually want. What's up, Mark? Mark's in chat. And so is JD. Hi, JD. What about doing reviews on collections you already have? I am going to be doing stuff like that, JD. There was a series on here called, and I think I told you about this before. I did do a series called Comic Book Corner, which I'm working on changing the name, but Comic Book Corner was a series where I got a trade paperback and I discussed previous arcs, previous stories, and basically it was a trade paperback review for stories that came out whenever, in whatever time period I did. Watchmen, I'm trying to remember. I did a lot of books. I did Turtles. I did the Ultimate Collections. I did a lot of different series so far, and I wanted to revisit that because I bought a lot of trade paperbacks that I wanted to talk about. I have Superman Year One. There's a lot. Earth One, not Year One. Superman Earth One. Nice, playing Bloodborne. But I don't know. It's hard, and especially because this channel, continuing answering you, JD, this channel has always been about, talking about what's coming out currently first, and then sprinkling in everything else in between, the trade paperbacks, the older story arcs, and stuff like that. We got Justin. What's up, Justin? Welcome to the show. I'm glad you could make it, and you made it before the ending. I think the last 2 times you popped in, it was towards the end, so I'm glad you made it at the beginning. But I always like to keep the current stuff up front first, and then I go into older stuff. I even like talking collectibles and stuff like that. And I'm working on doing a spotlight series for this X-Men bust that's behind me. Really awesome stuff. Oh, Justin is one of my Beta Ray Bill fans. I got my Beta Ray Bill. I shared this in a haul video. I think you saw it. You commented on it, but I'm so happy I actually found it. When I saw that in the store, the first person I thought it was Justin. Simon! What's up, Simon? What's up? What's up? So every time I see something Thor related, I think of Justin because Justin's a humongous Thor fan. But when it comes to Beta Ray Bill, we've had conversations about Beta Ray Bill before. So hopefully you got yours. I hope you got your Beta Ray Bill. I think you do, if I remember correctly. But I don't know where we're going with current day books. And I know for a fact that I have the ability to review all the stuff. Very nice to be right back. Awesome, man. Glad you could be here, though. And I don't know. I feel like moving forward, I wanted to, as you all know, I mentioned this in my recent haul video. I wanted to bring haul videos back, my weekly haul videos back. And the more and more books that go to digital only and the more books that go back to being literally just cover price means the less that I can get. I don't know. The haul videos are going to be very interesting moving forward. And I feel like every time I want to try to bring something back, something or some event gets in the way and messes with it a little bit. I'm hoping that this is just, we're getting started again. DC shop for fire. Yeah, they did. They really did. So I don't know. This is what I was talking about, Simon. This is how I started the show. I don't know where I'm going to be physical single issue wise a couple of months from now. I don't know what's going to go on. I mean, if things as far as prices move the same way, my physical collection won't change. But the way things are going, if prices change for pre-orders, I hate to make it sound like that, but again, less money means more you can buy. More money means less you can buy. I have a number in my head that I do not pass every single month. And I have done that a few times, actually. And I say to myself, no. And that's why I started going back to Midtown a little bit. So this way I buy my monthly amount of books and then I could get those few extra books I want every now and again, during the week before. But with Midtown changing the way they sell their books now, where the discounts aren't there for the week before, that makes me think even further to what should I get from DCBS and what should I think about getting from Midtown, or should I even be buying from Midtown at this point anymore? And that's a big question mark. And I know a lot of comic stores, comic shops are very angry towards DC, and they don't want to be buying from Midtown. They want to be buying from a just distributor. And I understand that. Good for the industry. I don't know. I saw that too, Simon. Very interesting. Yeah, I don't know if it's good. I don't know if it's good. I don't know if it's bad. I don't know if it's going to make Diamond wake up and say, okay, we have a problem. We need to fix this and maybe try to earn DC, get DC back. Or DC will do this. It will fail and they'll want to go back to Diamond. Or this could be very much the beginning of the end of Diamond. And then the other comic companies will have no choice but to jump on board with the new distributing companies if Diamond doesn't work out. What's up, Bavarian? Welcome in. We're talking about the big news that dropped today about DC leaving Diamond and how that's going to impact, I guess, a show on my channel. I don't know. I will be buying comics always, but the way DC and Marvel are going, with the digital only and now with the distributing, and you got to worry about how much things are going to cost. And, the whole point of previews was always, hey, I'm going to buy this 3 months in advance. I'm going to put this money down now for something that's coming out 3 months from now. So this way I could save a little bit, get a little bit more, and have more in my collection. But if I have to start paying cover price, that's where we got to start saying, okay, well, number one, do I really need to pre-order? Maybe the stuff that I know that'll sell out, I'll pre-order. But do I really need to buy everything in bulk now? I'll just go back to the weekly spending. And even then, going back to being very selective and picky at what I have physically, what I read, what I read as a reviewer, review copies of, and that's it. And just what I do in general. And again, I got to give kudos to the independents. They've been doing amazing work. I just hope the new distributors package the books better than Diamond for shipping shops. I will say, as a person who's bought from Midtown and as a person who's bought from DCBS, I love the way DCBS ships their books. Never, ever, ever did I ever have a damaged product from DCBS. Never. I've got statues from them. I've got posters from them. That's actually one of the posters I got from DCBS. That one right there. Not a single fold. I bought a poster from Midtown, and it was folded bad. So I can say from experience with DCBS, they are very good with shipping. Midtown, with their books, they're good. With their collectibles, they're good. Do not buy a poster from them because sometimes they'll end up stuffing it into a box. But otherwise, they're very good too. They're not bad at their shipping. I don't know now as a distributor where they got millions of books they're going to be giving out. But as far as customer service wise, for one customer and for all their customers, DCBS and Midtown deliver very, very nicely. I've never had a damaged book in my collection from Midtown or DCBS. I know it would be bad for in-stock trades and their discounts. They get the huge discounts because of the volume they order from Diamond. That's what I'm worried about too, Bavarian. That's what I'm worried about too, because again, now it goes back to I ordered from Amazon, and the way they send their books is not good. I did order a couple of books. I did have to for my birthday haul video that I will be doing. I got a series of something, and some books I had to get from Amazon, and thank God. One book I returned. One, but it wasn't Amazon's fault. It was the printer's fault. There was a printer malfunction inside of the book, and I sent it back, and they sent me a new one. They sent me a new one super quick too. But other than that, all the books I ordered from Amazon this time came in beautiful condition. And I noticed ever since I put that tweet out on Twitter about the blue envelopes, I do still see them circulating in my area. Like I see people who order Amazon still get those blue little, what do you call them, envelopes. I have not received a blue envelope since I made that video or since I made that tweet about the blue envelopes. So I don't know if Amazon is watching. Well, then again, I did get a reply from the help, and I mentioned it to the help, and my name on Amazon on Twitter is the same as my name on Amazon. Maybe they cross-referenced, they figured it out, and they said, okay, we're not sending this guy blue envelopes anymore, or maybe I'm just thinking too much into it, and they will eventually when I get something. But I haven't. Since making that tweet, I've not gotten a single blue envelope. Everything's come in a little box and a big box and something. So hooray for that. Do you know if there is a difference in comics between Canada and the US? Do we get stuff you would have problems getting? No. As a matter of fact, I've heard the opposite. I've heard that Canada is the one that has issues getting from America at times, but most of the printing, I believe, comes from the printers are in Canada. I think Marvel and DC's printers are actually, the comics are printed in Canada. I've never heard of a difference between here and Canada, other than the price difference. There's really not much else. I haven't heard complaints. I mean, you'd have to reach out to people in Canada, and you'd have to reach out to comic shops. I mean, I know you go to a comic shop, JD, so you'd have to ask the comic shops that. For the most part, I've never seen anybody complain, I can't get this book, I can't get that book. And that's not just for Canada, but even the UK. I believe the UK is a week behind us. So what we're reviewing this week, they get next week. But otherwise, I've not heard any complaints yet. Brian B. At Take the Time Collectibles has a great video showing the condition of new books received from Diamond at his shop. Definitely worth a watch. I've heard Justin the nightmares about Diamond and how they distribute their books. So I wouldn't be surprised. I think I remember once seeing it way back when my comic shop was still here. I saw him. I went early one week because I wanted to get something before the new books came out, and I saw that he had to send a couple back. And this is back in the early 2000s, late 1990s. So I believe it. I've seen videos, I've seen pictures, I've seen everything when it comes to the way Diamond sends their books. Is this a good thing? Is this a bad thing? It really it depends. It depends. Moving forward, it depends on what the prices will be for comic books. Will the actual comic book price go down now because I know comics went up because of Diamond, or are they going to stay the same and there won't be a discount? Again, it's more impacting with the readers and collectors with a price. When it comes to the comic shops, I can understand that they don't want to buy from Midtown. I can understand they don't want to buy from DCBS, but I don't know. I feel like DC and Marvel are just playing tag team on what worst decision they can make. I'm next week. I'm wondering what Marvel's going to say about. I have a feeling Marvel's going to be like, "Hey, we got a new list of digital only books, and it's going to be several books that we all like." So far, every time they've made an announcement, it was another book that I read. Last week it was Valkyrie, Jane Foster Valkyrie. The week before that, it was Avengers of the Wasteland. It was Ghost Spider, and there was another book in that digital only, Star, and it was Star. So again, I don't read my books. I don't collect my books digitally. I shouldn't say I don't read them digitally. I do read them digitally, but I don't collect my books digitally. What I read digitally is mostly, like I said, what we get for Frontline or what we have in our joint collection for Frontline for books that we discuss. Otherwise, if it's for my personal collection, I like the physical floppies, unless like when it comes to X-Men, there's a lot of stuff going on with X-Men. There's a lot of titles with X-Men. And in thinking of how much you'd be spending, and also collectability-wise, I feel like, because first of all, it's Brian Hickman. Well, it's Hickman, period. I feel like that would work better in trade. So X-Men Volume 1, I just got it. I'm waiting for Marauders to come out. I'm waiting for, what other books? X-Force. Wolverine, I'm getting the single issues for because Wolverine is my favorite character in the Marvel Universe, my favorite X-Man, period. So Wolverine is that one exception to the rules, but everything else X-Men related, I'm buying in trade. My wonder is, if things continue moving the way they are with things going digital only, with the price changes, if there are price changes, again, I am only speculating. Do not take anything I say here and go and bring it to Bleeding Cool and let them post it as fact. I'm speculating that if DCBS and Midtown are now the distributors, they will have the right to pick the price of which the books they sell, the sale, how much they're willing to discount. And I'm just speculating that they might not do that 35% that Diamond was doing. Maybe they'll do 15%. Maybe they'll do 20%. Maybe they'll do no percent. Maybe it's the freaking cover price. But in that case, then, that goes back to, if the percentage is lower, you're spending more for your books. That's where you got to start making tougher decisions on what you get physically, tougher decisions on what you switch to a trade paperback format, and even tougher decisions on what stays in your collection and what has to go. And I hate that. I'm very happy with my collection. I was so happy that I caught up on so many books that I missed out on, like Daredevil. And I started reading The Boys. The Boys has a #1 this week. I read, now that's independent though. Let's stick with Marvel and DC first. But Nightwing, the Joker War going on with Batman. Like I said, I caught up with Daredevil. I've given several. I was getting into Star. I caught up with Ghost Spider. I love the Avengers of the Wasteland. I caught up with Suicide Squad. Loved that. I was getting pumped for newest series coming out. And now they're throwing these curveballs. One being, oh, hey, the price might change for this. Not price, cover price wise, but the price when you pre-order it wise. And, oh, hey, these books are going to digital only format. You can only collect them physically in trade. How is that going to work for a first appearance? That means the trade paperback is what's going to sell out the fastest, because that's the first physical appearance of whatever character in a trade. It doesn't work that way. I like having a single issue where it's the first appearance of. So I don't know, but I feel like if things change dramatically, where are my DC and Marvel books going to be this time next year? Will I be collecting my DC and Marvel only in trade and reviewing them, like I said, digitally only? Will I be dropping a lot of Marvel and DC books and only picking up like the single issues of books that I only truly, really want in my collection? Because I can tell you all right now, independence-wise, and the only thing I regret now I see, and I'm going to have to buy them from DCBS, is that Midtown is picking and choosing what they give discounts for, and I don't like that. So when it comes to my independent order, that's what I'm going to focus on with DCBS to make sure that I get the discounts, because I don't understand why any AWA book is not given a 12% discount. I know Archangel 8 wasn't. However, their issue #1 that comes out next week was given a 12% discount. So now basically Midtown is picking and choosing what they discount. Look, again, I am okay with the 12% instead of the 15. I can understand the shop has been closed, but not really, because people can still order old books, and I'm sure a lot of people, such as myself, did. But I can understand the extra 3% minus, so that this way they can build up again, because they did lose money. I mean, honestly, they did lose money. But to not discount books at all, certain books, and especially them being the bigger books, that's where I start to say, okay, look, you can't. If you're going to start picking and choosing sales, I'm going to start really focusing on buying from DCBS and buying less from you. Because I don't know what books they're going to discount, and I don't know what books they're not going to discount. So just goes by that. I'm sorry. I see a lot of comments. Drawing the line at $2.99. That was DC's slogan. I wish they would have stuck to that. Star and Hawkeye Freefall going digital hurts. I was really liking multiple prints and variant covers on those series. I did too. I know what you're talking about. I'm unsure about Wolverine. Did you like issue 1 and 2? Should I keep buying monthly? I would say, let me pose the question to you first, Bavarian. Did you like issue 1 and 2 before I tell you what I thought of issue 1 and 2? And in your answer, I will then give you an answer to your final question, was should I keep buying it? What did you think, Bavarian, of issue 1 and 2? I would like to know. And then we'll move from there. This volume of Daredevil has been great. It has. And I like that the writer just had an interview, and he said that he's looking to do a one more day with Daredevil. That has me really, really interested. So I'm glad I caught up to Daredevil, and I'm glad I'm moving forward with Daredevil. Daredevil, I can say for 19 consecutive months, I have been wrong not trying the series out or not giving it more than one shot, because I think I read the first issue and I wasn't into it. I should have waited. I should have stuck with it, because now I regret not being there for the single issues. But I'll collect Daredevil in trade, and I'll still have it in my collection, at least in one form. So with Daredevil, I'm really happy, and I hope that doesn't go to a digital-only format. But then again, it doesn't matter. I'm collecting it in trade anyway. But just in case I ever do decide to switch to a single-issue format, maybe the one more day one, I'll get in single-issue form. We'll see. First appearance trades would be worthless because their print they'd have to print the trades less in order to make any type of hope. And then what are we going to get? Second printing trades? Please, no. No, I can't. I don't want to even think of that, and I don't need it to be that either. No, thank you. I don't want to have to worry about pre-ordering trades months in advance as well. I like that. I do have trades in my pool now when I'm making my orders, but I don't want to have so many trades in my order at once. I love the art in Wolverine, but I didn't get a clear direction from the story. Now, Bavarian, I agree. I like the art. I do. The first two issues, as far as the story, I feel like it's a very weak start for Wolverine. It's somebody who's messing with his mind. He ended up killing Jean, but they're resurrecting her. He ended up killing a couple other people, but they're resurrecting other X-Men, and they're resurrecting them. But this person apparently still has the ability to mess with Wolverine's head. I don't know. I've read several volumes of Wolverine. This volume definitely started off in a different feel compared to all the other Wolverine stories I've read so far. However, I read a lot of Wolverine after the fact, if that makes sense. So I read a lot of Wolverine in trade. So I am going to let this arc play out, and then I'm going to see where the next arc goes. And in doing that, I will know whether I want to continue getting this book as a single issue format or switch this to also being a trade paperback collection instead of a single issue collection. But I love Wolverine. I want to give the series the benefit of the doubt. I do want to like the series, but when it comes to Hickman, every book is connected. And that's what worries me, is that while Wolverine is off on his own and doing his own thing, his book is still intertwined with X-Men, with all the other books. And I know what Hickman's doing. I'm intrigued by it. I obviously am reading almost everything X-Men except for the few titles that I didn't like. Again, I guess we're just going to have to wait and see where this goes, but I'll always be there for a Wolverine. I was there for when Laura was all new Wolverine. Loved it. Tom Taylor's all new Wolverine was the best. And I'll be there for this series. And if, like I said, if I don't like it, I'll probably end up moving into a trade. Honestly, Bavarian, I would say give it another issue for you, because I am a huge Wolverine fan, so I'll give it the benefit of the doubt all the way into the next arc. But as a person who might not be so much of a fan of Wolverine, I'd say give it another issue or two. And if you feel the exact same way still that you do now, maybe consider getting it in trade. And then if the trade doesn't work for you, if the collected story arc doesn't work for you, maybe this is a skip for you as far as Wolverine. I wouldn't even say buy the trade right away. I'd say go to Barnes & Noble. I love that Barnes & Noble has those little stools that you can sit on. Get the trade, sit down on a stool in Barnes & Noble. I love Barnes & Noble. I cannot wait till things reopen again. Oh my God, I'm making myself miss going out. I became such an introvert in the past, I want to say 2.5 years, and it finally maybe 3 years, and it's finally caught up with me. It caught up with me at the beginning of this year, and I started saying to myself, holy crap, I have become such an introvert, and I used to love going to XYZ, whatever place it was, and Barnes & Noble's is one of them, and I freaking loved Barnes & Noble. That's where I read so many mangas, and I did buy a few, but some of them, unfortunately, I couldn't. But that was where I truly sat down and really enjoyed reading a good book and figuring out what trades I wanted to buy, what trades I didn't want to buy. And I would say Bavarian, that's a way to go. If you don't like Wolverine, before you even buy the trade, go to Barnes & Noble, get the book, sit down, enjoy the atmosphere, and then see if you like it. And if you do like it, then you buy it from Barnes & Noble. Barnes & Noble is a freaking awesome place. When I was younger, my mom went to another store. I cannot remember the name of it. It started with a W, but it was like Barnes & Noble. Walden Books? Was it Walden Books? Maybe it was Walden Books. And same thing. They had a section for mangas and comics. And I used to sit there while my mom was looking through for her books. And my mom is a humongous fan of reading. She reads a wide variety of books. My mom, and again, it runs in the family, I guess, when it comes to the reading part. I'm the comic reader. She reads more Harlequin books. What do you call those books? Romance books, stuff like that. So she's more into that. But she read Harry Potter and Twilight as well. But she's more into those. I'm into the comics. So when she was getting her books, I was reading my own books as a kid, and I always used to give her one to buy me or whatever. But what's up, David? Welcome in. Hello. How are you? We are doing great. I'm doing great. I don't know how everybody else is doing, but I'm doing great. I'm glad you made it to the show. But, yeah, I used to do that. I miss it. I've become such a disgusting 3-year introvert. An introvert is not the way to live. I don't care what anyone tells you. I don't care who you are. Getting out there and just enjoying life a little bit is always the best. And I missed it. I miss it. And I'm hoping once everything passes, I can go back out there. And it's too bad a lot of my friends moved out of New York, or a lot of my friends wouldn't get into doing videos like I do, where it would be going to the city and checking out some comics, or going to Barnes & Noble and checking out some books. I unfortunately don't have that kind of clique here in New York. Kat would be one person definitely, but unfortunately because of our schedules, I mean, I'm sure we will be bumping into each other a lot in the city, but not as often. Like we're like a weekly clique that gets together and goes out and buys comics like that. Because I know Kat buys a lot of her books in Staten Island. I would go into the city. But yeah, that's a story for another time. I love Barnes & Noble. My dad and I used to go there when we first moved to the U.S. Then they removed the comfy chairs because people were... See, yeah, that's the problem. People camped. People truly camped in them, and that's not cool. People who were there to just, glance through a book to see if they wanted it or not, that's a different story. But people who were just sitting there like, oh, and didn't even have a book in their hand and were just sitting there, and some of them... I remember there was that one time there was an old man... His wife came over to him after she made her purchase. Hey, Marty, get up. We got to get home now. Well, you sitting, you sleeping for hours in the car, in the chair. Oh, you going, you're reading. It was, I swear, it was one of those moments. I'm not even exaggerating. He was complaining that she took forever looking for books, and she was complaining that he spent the whole time sleeping on that comfy chair. And the voices were almost identical to that, and it was hilarious. I was laughing my ass off at that moment. So good. Just got back from the shop. What'd you pick up, David? Got my order and trades. Oh, cool. Did you get a lot of stuff? For me, it was where I live. Saturday market. Oh, okay. Yeah, and I hate it. I used to be such an outgoing person. I mean, if you are on my Facebook page, if any of you are friends on my Facebook page, I know Bavarian is. I have a category in my photos, in my pictures, that I called Life, and it was right after I broke up with my previous girlfriend, my ex-girlfriend, I made my first trip into the city for Midtown. I made trips into the city before, but this was the first time I went specifically to go to Midtown. And I took a bunch of pictures, and we had a blast. I did a video. It was on YouTube. I got some lock and key keys, which are really cool. I got some really nice books. Unfortunately, not too many, but I got a couple of nice books. I believe it was around Christmas time, so we went to go see the tree. It was fun, and I don't know what happened to me. I think it was after I quit my job that I really started to stay home more and more because I didn't have to go out to work. And then I just started to become just a disgusting rut. And now I'm just itching. I'm itching to get back out there and do a couple of things. And I got so many platforms that I could stream from now, here on YouTube, on Twitch, on Twitch I wouldn't say too. I said Twitch, but it's more gaming. So YouTube, Facebook, Dark Avenger Nation. If you haven't joined the Dark Avenger Nation, links in the description below. Join it. I'm trying to build up a conversation on there. I really do want to build a community on the Dark Avenger Nation Facebook page. But beside that, there's Facebook, there's here. I got a TikTok recently, and I know a few people were laughing about it. And I feel like I've been watching. I apparently had an account, and that was because I went to follow one of the other people I watch on YouTube who went to TikTok, who was doing Pokemon card openings on TikTok. And I've looked, and I've seen people do a bunch of different things. It's not just about dancing around and stuff. I mean, it is, but it's like the present day Vine. Because I remember when I had Vine, that's the feel I get with TikTok. It's like the present day Vine, but better than Vine, way better. And I like it. And I think that I truly want to explore options when it comes to TikTok. I love Instagram. I have not had a chance to post to Instagram in so long, and it's driving me nuts because that's my favorite social media platform. And you can do videos on Instagram now, Instagram TV or Insta TV. I want to do that too. I can live stream on Instagram. I don't want to live stream on Periscope. I had a Periscope. I decided not to because it doesn't save it, and it's one of those things where a restream would work better, and I'm not going to mess around with restream right now, but there are a lot of places I could stream from while being out, and I definitely want to do more of that. I want to have some fun, and that's the point. Oh, I thought something new came up. Didn't. That was an older one. So I am exercising ideas and moving away from the sad news with DC Comics and my worry about where my single issues are going to stand. No matter what, look, if a whole video series can't happen, we could always do something else with the whole series. We can figure out something. I mean, again, if it's a small haul, it's a small haul. Sometimes people enjoy just coming out and enjoying seeing what you're getting physically. And I think I will always be getting physical books. And there are a lot of independent books that I do not see myself dropping anyway, because there's a lot of really good independent books out there. Matter of fact, I actually might be doing another haul because I can't show it because then you'll see two of the books because there's trades. I have about a stack this high of books that I've received in the past 2 weeks. I might do a little haul of that. Why not? Right? Why not? These are books that I got that weren't from DCBS, and why not? So I might actually do a haul video with those. What older series are you currently working on? I remember in the past you grabbed a whole Superboy run at one time, I believe. Okay, so I grabbed. I did do runs from eBay. I've grabbed several. I've got Young Justice from issue 1 to the end. I bought the full series of Superboy 1 through 100. I got Impulse, the full run of Impulse until Teen Titans started. What else? I did get another one. Oh, I got Robin, Tim Drake's run, the whole Tim Drake Robin. Currently, I'm working on. See, I can't get the full single issue run of Nightwing, the very first volume of Nightwing. So instead, what I'm doing is I'm collecting it in trade. So right now, I believe there's a new trade for Nightwing coming out, and there's a hardcover for one of the trades coming out. So I'm honestly right now I'm just trying to keep up with Nightwing. I just got. I don't want to spoil it. I did get a trade that came out because I am keeping another run up in trade, but single issue wise, I'm not really looking for anything at this time. I mean, if I could find myself any issue from the very first volume of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, I probably would start that. I'd love to, but them issues is expensive. I know issue 2 is going for thousands, and I'm not. I really started to like DCBS. I already placed 2 orders with them for Omnis. Yeah, that is my go-to place when it comes to ordering stuff 3 months in advance. I don't go to Midtown for that. Midtown I go to for my week to week, my week by week basis. DCBS I'll always go to for my 3 months in advance. I don't see myself ever not going, and that's why I can't understand how comic shops are upset, because I think anyone who goes to a comic shop has something that they order from DCBS or has something that they've ordered from Midtown. It's not like people who go to the comic shop are going to stop going to the comic shop because they can go to Midtown or DCBS. Those entities have been around for Midtown's been around for a very long time. DCBS has been around for quite some time now. And it's like, they've been around. If you didn't lose your customers yet because of them, 90% you're not going to lose them at all. Just saying. So lately on in-stock trade, if you're not there within 15 minutes of the site update, they sell out. So yeah, I noticed that. I did notice that. And as a matter of fact, I made an order during my birthday order, and one of the issues actually was in my order, and they apologized, but it ended up selling out literally after I made the order. So they actually refunded me my money for it. And again, had to go to Amazon to get that book. And I was nervous up until the day the book was delivered, because I had no clue what condition it was going to be in. And thank God it was in good condition, knock wood. So I like in-stock trade. I think I will go there for trades that I don't want to pre-order. The only thing with DCBS, and again, it's a bulk. You know, they don't charge you week by week. They literally charge you the 15th of every month, and that's the full amount of the month coming up. And sometimes it's a lot of money, you know, and it works better week to week because, you know, money comes in every other week. So it's better that way. Having a big lump sum go out sometimes doesn't work best. That's why I started going back to Midtown, because at least that way I was able to have my lump sum of books that I absolutely knew I was going to keep. And then everything else that was in between, I could kind of like get on a week-to-week basis. I'm working on the Tim Drake Robin run now. Oh, dude, Justin, the person I bought from, and that was about 3 years ago, had two sets. If I would have known, well, that was 5 years. It's too bad he's not around now, but man, it's a good run. I enjoyed the Tim Drake Robin run. You're going to love it when you catch up with it all. It was really, really good. Really good. I'm still going to my store for singles. Exactly. So if you have a shop you're going to, you're still going to it because you still want that experience. That's what I'm hoping to find when everything clears up and I'm able to go out again, is that experience, that feel of being inside of a comic shop. Nothing tops being in a comic shop. I don't care what anyone says. Ordering online is great. The sales are great, but nothing tops being in a freaking comic shop. TMNT Volume 1 issues would be so cool. Tell me about it. I'd love to have it. Love it. I would love to have anything from Volume 1. Unfortunately, those things expensive. Expensive. You're going to pick up the new Robin Omnibus. Looks good. If it's the Tim Drake one, no, because I already have it in single issue form. When it comes to omnibuses, I'm going to try to collect omnibuses of things I don't have before I collect things I do have. Again, look beautiful on a shelf. I think if it was a hardcover or a trade, I would bend a little bit more. I would buy it possibly faster than an omnibus. Omnibuses are like $80. And again, $80 for something I don't have any single issues of versus $80 for a whole single issue set that I have. It works better as a cheaper buying trades as they come out instead of buying a gigantic book. But that being said, I've only read Injustice in digital form. I know they released the first volume, the first omnibus, which I think is year 1 through 3. I would get that because I do want to have Injustice in my collection as trades. I know the trades are cheaper. I think for the full run, the 2 volumes, or the 5 years and then the 0 year, and then I didn't like Injustice 2 as much though, but I would get it just to complete the set. it would be about $200, I think, for the full run. My shop never closed, luckily, so I've been supporting them by buying too many back issues. Man, if you saw the whole video from my quarantine for the stay-at-home order, so that was a lot. And then I did make another order with the people over at TKO. I do want to do an unboxing as soon as that comes. My box disappeared in the USPS network. I actually have to contact them again and let them know. I haven't heard from them. I reached out to them last week and let them know my box hasn't arrived yet. I'm going to reach out to them again probably this weekend, but there's been a lot going on, so I wouldn't blame them if they've been busy or they've been away. So I'll reach out to them again probably at the beginning of next week and say, hey, see what the status of that is. Back to Todd McFarlane Kickstarter. I'm looking forward to doing an unboxing of that. And that's another thing, everybody. I'm looking to, as we build this channel back up, obviously the heart and soul will always be the comic review, which that is returning this coming Monday, and we'll talk about that towards the end of the show. But I am looking to bring some collectibles and stuff back with the trades, with the comics, because I buy collectibles all the time. This is the 200, and tell me the zoom is on. The zoom better be on, because I could have sworn I fixed that. Nope, the zoom is not on. So this is the 297th of 3,000. There are only 3,000 pieces of this. And the good news is I came in at the beginning to this set. This set, I'm at the beginning of it. I'm looking to make a full collection of all the Diamond. And this is from Diamond. These are Diamond select toys. So this is from Diamond Distributing. So God, please don't let Diamond go under until these are done. But these are Diamond Direct or Select busts. And I want to get the full X-Men 90s run. And I believe at the end of the year with the Rogue and Gambit bust, there's going to be a Spider-Man and Mysterio. Don't really care for Mysterio. Do want Spider-Man. So I'm just hoping. Been buying back issues like crazy. Working on Star Wars. Jason Aaron run Star Wars was good. Robin Bronze Age. Maybe. Then that's something I might consider. That is something I actually might consider down the road, because I don't have any Robin Bronze Age. I will say that. But, yeah, there's a lot of stuff I'd love to add to the channel. I know a lot of you, and I'm going to speak as a person who I speak as I see. And the views tell me what all of you enjoy watching and what all of you don't enjoy watching. Because if you don't watch it, that means you don't like it. That means that it's something you're not interested in. I like buying collectibles. You all know that, like I just said. And I have a means. I have a review station. I have a means to show certain collectibles off. That's something I'd love to add. Again, hopefully all of you will support all the returning videos. I almost said new. All the returning videos as they start coming back. Some will be videos that are here, there, and everywhere. You know, those videos that literally it's like, oh, I have this, so I'm going to be doing a video spotlight on this. And then there are going to be those video series that happen each and every week, like the comic review, like hopefully the haul video at some point, and then other series. But, you know, I'm working on several different series that I've done before, and both in the weekly format and the here, there, and everywhere format. This show is a weekly show, so you all know that. And then I'm working on things for the future. I actually came up with a really cool idea that I will not be probably exercising this year. Why? This has been a year. And just like DC and Marvel trying to top one another with bad ideas, every single month in the year of 2020 so far has been trying to top itself. Every single month. And I'm petrified because we just jumped into June. So I want to get as far away from 2020 as possible, or as far through 2020 as possible. I'm not looking for time to pass faster, but I want to get through 2020 before I do. And again, I promised all of you nothing new in 2020 that I haven't done before. So with certain ideas, I haven't done them before, so they're new. So I'm not breaking my promise. So these are ideas that are going to be sat on and thought about on the side as I'm bringing stuff that I've done back for all of you. But I do have some really cool ideas for when things get back to a schedule, when things get rolling again and we get things built up again. That's the goal. When I first brought Dark Avenger Live back, for example, I'll give you an example, 1 to 2 to 3 viewers every week. We are sitting now at 6 viewers. There are 6 people who are here watching. That is a growth. A lot of people might say, oh, that's not a huge growth. To me, it is. Any growth, whether it be 1 person, 2 person, 3 person, 10 people, that's growth. And we are having growth. The Dark Avenger Nation on Facebook slowly is growing. But again, it has growth. And that's the point of 2020. Retooling what's already been out there and growth. And we're doing a good job, even with the coronavirus, even with all the insanity that is going on in the world. And truth and justice, I believe, in the end will shine through, because there is a voice out there for what's going on nowadays. And I stand by that voice, by the way. Each and every one of you know what I'm talking about. I believe that we will get there. The nation will get there. Dark Avenger, this channel will get there. My goal is to rebuild and just to continue to build what's already here. And hopefully that'll happen. James Tynion the fourth, the Backstagger and Rick Remender C of Reed low, and your Twitter too. Don't forget that. Oh yeah, David. Anything right now? I felt like Twitter there was a lot of toxic stuff. Not now, but several months back, and there's a lot of toxicity going on Twitter, because there's a lot of politics being thrown around. And I don't mean what's going on now again. I'm clarifying. There was politics being thrown around before the incident in May, before all that's going on now, where I believe voices need to be heard, before that. And it kind of pushed me away. I will always have a Twitter. I will always try to. My Twitter is meant for what we're doing here. My Twitter is meant for everything comic related. What happened, man, just follow the trending. Well, now it's too late, but a couple of months ago, if you kept an eye on the trending, there was a lot going on. And there still is, but now it's important stuff going on. But before that, it was stuff that was just very toxic conversations going back and forth. But I ignored it and I moved forward. My Twitter, my Instagram, everything like that is focused and it has its category, and it's what it is, period. And I don't go beyond that. And if anybody wants to know my thoughts on the current situation that's going on, I shared a Facebook post today about that. And I know Brand shared a Facebook post today about that as well. But there's a lot going on in 2020, and I am looking to expand on everything. And David, you mentioned Twitter. I'd like to restate again, I have a TikTok now. I'm looking to expand on every single social media platform I can to bring people here. I will always be everywhere. I will always be here. My thing is, I read comics, I review comics, and I write comics. That's a double RW. I do my life, and the things I do, the work I do is always and will always revolve around comic books. So when you throw politics or anything else in that, now again, comic books when they first were created, a lot of it was for propaganda. Captain America, X-Men, just to name a few. I don't see how Wonder Woman was, but I was told Wonder Woman at some point. But Wonder Woman, if you do your history on Wonder Woman, there was a lot more to it than that. And boy, oh boy, would say 2020 has been a crazy year. So I definitely am going to be using my social medias to help enhance stuff that comes back here on YouTube. But I'm excited. I've been wanting to figure out a way to bring Deadpool back. I know a lot of you liked when I had the Deadpool, when I was doing Deadpool. I think TikTok gives me a platform now to really freely express my creativity with Deadpool a little bit more. TikTok also allows me to bring comic books to another platform, which is TikTok. Instagram, I've brought comic books there already. There is comic community on Instagram already. Same thing with Twitter and everywhere else. There is a comic book podcast on Twitch. I have that in an asterisk in the back of my mind at some point to possibly work on something for Twitch. Because Twitch, if there are people talking comics on Twitch, we could bring comics to Twitch as well. My goal is to bring comics to as many places as I can. And I believe TikTok is newer, and that is where comic books definitely can grow. Seems like Instagram is a good platform for collectibles like statues, busts. Yes, I actually share every single thing I get. I haven't shared this yet. I haven't shared anything I got from my stay-at-home haul because I haven't had the chance, but all of these at some point, Justin, I share all my Funkos and anything I get in the mail. Slowly, I'm going to get back to sharing those. But yeah, Instagram definitely is. I just would like to make videos also for YouTube, like spotlights. I would like to, because like for busts like this, yeah, you can make an IGTV video. And again, it's an idea. It is something that maybe I should test out. But my hope is to really build this channel back up. And again, I reach out to all of you, and I'm really hoping all of you can do this, to just share the channel, get it out there, reach it out to your friends. If you have friends that like comic books, if you're in the comic shop and you happen to notice people are talking comics and they really wish there was some channel or something that they could watch, I hope you share Dark Avenger C86. I hope you're sharing Comic Frontline as well, but I hope you share Dark Avenger C86. Comic Frontline has built so much, and we are going so strong. I want to get this channel back on its feet as well. So I hope if you know somebody, if you know some bodies, if you have friends, if you have people that you can reach out to, whether it be on social media, anywhere, take the link to Dark Avenger C86, share it on your social media, share it with your friends, share it around. Let's try to grow this channel back to where it was before the insanity that now has been put to sleep happened. My hope is to get that. What's your Instagram? The link's in the description below. Justin, I have you friended on Instagram. I've liked several of your posts on Instagram. I think you have me, Justin. You have me on Instagram already, man. Or at least I have you. I've been following you, that's for sure. I do reviews on Instagram, comics here and there. So there you go. See, so Instagram is definitely a place, and I feel like when they made IGTV, that was their means of building up something. And I know Lamar Wilson loves Instagram more. Lately, he's been really enjoying the content more, and his audience has been enjoying him more on Instagram. And again, it's a topic for series. Are there certain series that would work better on Instagram than on the YouTube channel? And again, I want to make sure that every aspect of Dark Avenger C86, whether it be here, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, anywhere, it all comes together. It all is one and the same. Oh, you were asking David. Okay, David, yeah, if you'd like to share your Instagram, you're at, and then whatever, you're welcome to share that in the chat, my friend. But I want every aspect of Dark Avenger C86 to be there to help grow the community. And that's why I say, please share it. Share it with people. Share the community with your people. I am doing 110% as much as I can. The only thing I don't share on anymore is Comic Amino. But if you can, please share this channel with your friends. Please share the Facebook group with your friends. I want this year to be a year of growth. I want to really build up the audience in videos and live streams and everything. And going now to, with comics starting to come back. Okay, well, hold on a minute, David. With comics coming back, that means the channel is going to start moving again. So this coming Monday, the Dark Avenger comic book review is returning. And like I said, I've read 12 books. Well, I will have read 12 books by Monday. And the cool thing is I have a close friend of mine, JD. He was in the chat before, the Media Jack. He streams on Twitch. He streams on YouTube. He streams all over the place. He is a well-known gamer. He is a radio personality for 99.3 The Drive, which is in Prince George. He's had me on the show several times. It's so cool to be on a radio station. And like I said, Prince George is like my home away from the United States. So that is where I would be if I ended up leaving the United States and moving to Canada. But JD also is an awesome video editor, and he is going to be working to help edit my videos because I've been having issues with my editing program. I shared it on social media, and he reached out to me, and I was more than happy when he said that he wanted to help me with editing my videos, and he's going to be editing my videos moving forward. And I'm really excited to have that level of editing, because I feel like JD is the one that did my channel intro. Let me put it that way. I made one, and then he took my channel intro and made it better. And I feel so much happier now that I have somebody who will take my stuff, really do what I probably can't do, or I possibly can't do with a video, and it will help get videos out on time, because I won't have to deal with a really slow editing program or a headache. And I have somebody who can put them out like that, and it's really cool. It'll help things stay on schedule. So look forward to the comic review coming back next week. I have a haul video for my birthday I'm doing. I have another haul video that I'm doing that I haven't done in a very long time that'll be fun to bring back. And then now, like I said, I will have a small comic haul that I'll probably do as well. So that's 3 haul videos, a comic review, and then as normal returns to release of comics, if DC and Marvel will slow down and just try to get back on track. But even if we don't have DC and Marvel, there's a bunch and a million independent books out there. So there's a lot of stuff that we can still do when it comes to a haul video. But as things start to normalize, series that I was planning to bring to the channel will be coming out. Now, like I said, that I have JD in my corner, I feel 100% more comfortable, and I'm happier because I know that I can get these videos edited and brought to all of you and give you 110%, because I know JD is going to give 110% on his editing, and that's why I love JD, and that's why he is definitely one of my closer friends too, because he knows me in and out, and he is there offering himself. And again, if you'd like something edited by JD, reach out to him, the Media Jack. He is very, very, what's the word I'm looking for? His prices are reasonable, and his work speaks for itself. So if you want a video editor, JD is the person to go to, 100%. Now, how about DA radio show or podcast? If you'd like, Simon, there is a podcast I started called the Dark Avenger Podcast. The first volume of it lasted, I think, 9 episodes. I did a 4-week what's the word I'm looking for? A 4-week lead up to the new volume. So it was like 0 point, I believe, or something like that. But I did a lead up, and then I did episode 0 of the Dark Avenger Podcast returning, which was going to be an everything podcast, because this channel was going to be an everything channel. And obviously that didn't work out. So I did have a podcast set up. Podcast is a good idea for the future. It's on this channel, Simon. If you go to the channel, click playlists, and then click the Dark Avenger Podcast. It's there. It's in a playlist. And you could listen to several. I'd advise working your way from the beginning all the way to current day. But again, it's a lot of old topics and stuff like that. So it depends how much you'd be interested in listening to it. Just answering that question. But I mean, it's there. I've done it before, and like I said, I'm not doing anything new, but that doesn't mean older stuff won't pop up. But for right now, podcasting is something that I would definitely say is something that would be. I want to get the video series back. I want to really build the channel back up first. Then we go into like if there's room for a podcast, if there's room for something else. I think my Instagram is W Pressley lowercase. Gotcha. Cool, thanks. You're welcome. So I might at some point. Not right now, but it's something that's in the realm of things I've done before, and I enjoyed it. But a podcast, there's a lot involved, and I feel like if I'm doing videos on news, if I'm doing this live show, if I'm doing the Dark Avenger comic book review, the question then becomes, what can I do on a podcast different from everything I'm already doing? You understand what I mean? So it's hard when I'm talking about comic news here, Comic Book Weekly. I'm talking about my comic books on the Dark Avenger comic book review, and then again on Comic Book Weekly. So what can I give to the Dark Avenger podcast to make it unique is the question. Now, that's not something I'm expecting you to answer, but it's something I have to answer. And if the answer is nothing, then what am I doing the show for? Because I'm repeating what I'm already talking about on here, what I'm talking about on the review shows, on Comic Book Weekly. It needs to be unique. And if it can't be unique, then maybe it's not the right time to bring it out. It needs to have something that I don't do anywhere else. And I'm sure it could happen. I'm positive it could happen. Just not right now, not at this second. So if it ever does happen, believe me, just continue to follow the channel and you'll find out. But I don't see it happening because there's a lot of stuff that I'm doing in other videos right now that it would just make the podcast honest to God, it would be a repeat of things I've said in several other videos. So we'll see. We'll see what the future holds. Maybe I'll come up with something, but not right now and definitely probably not this year. But there are podcasts you can go back and listen to and enjoy. There's also another podcast called It's a Bird, It's a Plane, It's a Podcast. So if you'd like to listen to that, that was a podcast I was doing for the Zone 4 podcast network. I did, I think, 2 or 3 videos of that. And then that kind of ended as well. So you can check that out as well if you'd like to listen to that. Every video you make can be a podcast. Exactly. It's basically a podcast if you take the audio out of it. So, and that's what I think I do, like with this show and with the comic review, is if you're working around, right, you could listen to this show right now. I'm not really showing anything, and if I am showing something, I'm telling you what I'm showing. So you could walk around and listen to this show without watching and know exactly what's going on because I'm telling you what's going on. I'm honestly communicating with the comments. And then when it comes to my comic reviews, I'm talking about the comic. I'm not really showing the comic. I would love to show internal artwork again like I used to, but until physical books come again weekly, I am literally only putting a picture of the cover up on the screen and then I'm just talking about the book. So I feel like a lot of my shows can be listened to without being watched, which is cool. And at the same time, YouTube has this new thing now where you need X amount, I think 4,000 hours watched before you can even get AdSense again. And I'm going to put it to you all this way. I got more from Twitch than I have from YouTube. So would it be great to get that again? Would it be great to get the AdSense put on my videos? Absolutely. I would love to. I hope, if not this year because of what's gone on, hopefully next year we can get back to a YouTube affiliate at some level. And maybe we could do kind of like what Mike Spiderslayer is doing with memberships and whatnot. I have a Patreon. I'm hoping that I can build up the Patreon. I have a lot of cool exclusive stuff planned. But again, I'm not going to be doing any exclusive stuff on Patreon until I have patrons. You know, there's no point to do it if there's nobody backing the Patreon. I will be doing a lot of exclusive content on Patreon that's extra. I'm going to say that again, extra. I'm not taking anything away from this channel. This is me on my free time doing stuff extra for anyone who's willing to back my Patreon at the levels where I will perform extra recordings or do extra things. So I'm not taking anything away. If anything, I'm putting more work on myself. But again, if there are people that want to support the channel at that level, you deserve that. And like I said, there's nobody on the Patreon right now. But when people do join the Patreon, and I do hope at some point we can build a bit of a community on the Patreon because it supports the channel, it supports me, and it helps make these videos even better. That's when I'll start doing the exclusive content on Patreon. So hopefully if you are somebody who's on Patreon, you'll consider going over to my Patreon and looking it up. Links again in the description below. Again, once we start getting a community or once people start backing the Patreon, that's when the exclusive content will happen. Until then, I'm just going to leave it on the side. I have a bunch of really cool ideas. I really do. A lot of fun ideas. But again, that's going to wait till there is somebody there to share it with instead of just doing it and there's no one to watch it. You know what I mean? So anyway, with that being said, though, there's a lot of cool stuff. A lot of cool stuff to look forward to. I'm excited for the stuff that I'm going to be doing. And this channel is all about the positivity. I'm bringing comics to all of you. I will always be honest. If I don't like a book, I will say it. But this channel is not about any specific anything. We are here specifically to talk about comics, to talk about collectibles, and to stay in the realm of comic books at least. So that's the goal moving forward, is the focus on comic books, the focus on Dark Avenger C86, the brand, and of course, ShootingStarUniverse.com, where I'm working on a few written posts. Let's be honest, everyone. I want to get these posts out. Every time I say, yeah, I'm going to finish this post, get it up, We have had such a rough year, and I hope all of you understand. And I completely understand if you don't understand, because if I was a person watching somebody and they kept saying, I promise, it's going to happen soon, it's going to happen soon. All I can say is once it starts with me, things move. The gears start moving and they continue to move. There's so much going on in the world right now that it is hard for me to sit down and actually write the way I used to back when MySpace was actually. I wish somebody would get the old coding to the old MySpace, the one that was back in the early 2000s. I would kiss you and then beg you to make that a new thing and call it something else. I would love to have old MySpace back. I would be the first one to sign up for that. But my goal is to get back to the way I was on old MySpace, where every day I had something to write. And some days I didn't, but most days I did. And to get writing and get stuff up. So I promise all of you, it's a rough year. It's a rough year for everyone. For some, believe me, more than others. And I understand and I stand by those people that are having a rougher year than myself. But it has been a rough year. I lost my father at the beginning of the year. And then predominantly every single month has been worse and worse. And things have just been getting worse and worse. That I'm like, please get me off this 2020 ride. And let's focus on that and getting into next year and surviving to next year. But I am working on them, and I'm hoping, and I'm glad you understand. Thank you, David. And I'm hoping that I will get the stuff finished and start putting stuff out written. But Shooting Star Universe, definitely there is stuff coming. So look forward to a few written posts. I am working on one right now talking about how I was during the stay-at-home order. And the stay-at-home order is just now ending in New York. As of next month, this coming Monday, we're going to be getting into phase 1. And there's stuff that I'm working on after that as well. Have you put a video on your other channel about you being back? I remember a lot of people were watching DA live back in the day. On my second channel, I did make a video talking about being back on Dark Avenger and that I was going to be taking a break from that channel for a bit. Yes. I know it's been a rough year. It just has been. And I know, Bavarian, I saw your post on Facebook, and I sympathize with you, and especially what your father, and I don't want to, because I know it's private, but what your family went through back in the day, it's horrible. And I'm glad that now y'all are here and y'all are happy. And hopefully, like I said, I know you're here on a work visa. We talked about this before. Hopefully, as work comes back, you'll be able to start working again, and you won't have to worry about anything, and you're stable here again. But yeah, it's a rough year, and it's been rough on me. It's been rough on my family, getting on a more personal level. And yeah, do I watch Near Mint David? I comment on almost every single video on Near Mint Condition. I love Near Mint Condition. They are an amazing group, and damn it, Uncanny Omar Jerk did a video on Darkstalkers, and now I have 4 books in my wish list that I'm dying to buy. And now today they did something on Evangelion and the Crown. Oh, come on, I got to remember the name of that book. I have it in my cart because they're only like $12 or something each. But what is it called? No, I need to know this. Dragon's Crown. The artwork for those mangas and the Evangelion art book. I never owned an Evangelion DVD Blu-ray. I've watched it though, and that book is gorgeous. And it's the books he's been showing. Oh, I would see. That's again. If I ever went and stopped buying single issues, I would be like Near Mint. I would be getting all of that stuff. I'd be getting the art trades. I'd be getting the hardcovers that come out. I'd be getting the trade paperbacks every month as they come out. Literally, this channel my whole video would become trade paperbacks, and I would be doing a lot more trade reviews. But I still would be doing my single issues. Just they would be digital because I'd be doing the books that we get for Comic Frontline. I never will stop reviewing single issues, but if I ever stop buying several single issues, I would probably end up moving into trades, 100%. And if anything, Near Mint and Gem Mint are hugely responsible for that. And he's the reason why I got the Deadly Class trade paperback set. He's the reason why I got the Fairy Tale 100 Years. I started that because I found out it just started and it was the sequel to Fairy Tale, and I still got to finish Fairy Tale. He's the reason for what I wanted for my birthday, and I'll be showcasing those. I like Near Mint. Near Mint's really cool. Only shows that I miss are their live streams. I miss the ones where they all get together and they live stream. And I think it's cool that they do throw games in there. They have I forgot his name, the guy that does the video games. I think he does it every week or every other week or once a month. He did the Final Fantasy Collector's Edition opening. They're great people. I really do. I like watching their videos. I think they are an amazing channel. I definitely would recommend anyone to watch Near Mint Condition. I've brought them up several times, actually, in several of my videos. I think that Near Mint is really cool. They're really nice. And they're really nice also. I've gotten several replies to my comments, which you don't get from bigger channels. And it's cool that they take the time out to actually comment back on a lot of their commenters. So Near Mint Condition is really cool. I like them. I don't know if you do, David, but I like Near Mint. They're really cool. But yeah, that was a segue. That leads into another segue that, yeah. So with that being said, I think that we've been here for an hour and 15 minutes. So I'm going to start wrapping up. So like I was saying before, comic review will be back on Monday. I'm going to try to record it a day earlier so I can get it to my friend JD to edit. I'm going to have to start doing that. But the comic review will be back. Look forward to returning series coming back little bits at a time. I've mentioned 3 haul videos. If you have a TikTok, follow me at Dark Avenger C86. If you don't have a TikTok, consider making a TikTok and following Dark Avenger C86. Across social media, I'm at Dark Avenger C86, Twitter, Instagram. We were talking about all that. If you haven't joined the Dark Avenger Nation, which is my Facebook group or our community Facebook group, definitely send in Love Near Mint Condition. Love them too. They're great. Definitely send a request. I have the group set to you join, and then I find out you want to join and I accept you. It's just to keep the bots out, honestly. You send in a join, and then I accept you, and you come in, and we can have some conversation. We can have some comic conversation, have some good times. I've already had several wonderful conversations with several people, and I'm looking forward to growth. Like I said, please, if you can share Dark Avenger C86 across the board with all the people you know, even people that aren't into comic books. Share with them anyway if they're into YouTube, if they're into social media, because this anyway is growth. And at this point, exposure is number one. And I'm trying to throw myself out there everywhere. I just hope that everybody else can share the channel as well. And we can grow together as a community and just continue to grow and have a really fun time. I'm really looking to build a lot of fun stuff. And if you want to see some crazy stuff with Deadpool, TikTok's going to be the place probably for that. So I finally figured out where I'm going to use Deadpool in all of this, because I wanted to bring Deadpool back and I was trying to figure out how. And TikTok might very well be that platform for Deadpool. Every once in a while, I'm still going to bring comic books to TikTok as well. Thank you all so much for being here. I hope you all stay safe. I hope you all stay well in these really, really trying times. I'll talk with all of you in the nation. So if you are around, like I said, I'll be on Facebook. We'll talk there. Till then, I'll see you all on Monday with the Dark Avenger comic book review. That will be premiering. This is the only live show that's on the channel, unless I do a, one of those moments where it's like a spur of the moment live show. All the regular videos are going back to a premiere format. So I will be premiering it and I'll be in the comments, but it will not be the way like what we do here where I reply to all of your comments. That's just the format of the show. That's the way the show I feel worked best, and we'll have a good time with it. So I love you all. Talk to you all soon. Feel free to click any of the links in the description below. Oh, one thing. Next week, I'm trying to get Brant and Kat to come on. We're going to be talking about their Kickstarters, which is The Last Ember Reforged and issues 1 through 6 for Like Father, Like Daughter. So we will have guests on hopefully next week, and we will be talking about their Kickstarters. But if you'd like to shoot there real quick before we do the Q&A, it's going to be more of an AMA. We're going to be doing questions, and all of you come with questions for the books, for the Kickstarters, whatever you'd like to ask for Kat and Brant. But if you'd like to join the party early, you can go over to Kickstarter.com. It's The Last Ember Reforged, issue number 1, and Like Father, Like Daughter issues, Like Father, Like Daughter 1 through 6. Go back these Kickstarters. I've already backed both, and I can tell you all, as a person who works with Last Ember Press, you're all going to love Last Ember Reforged, and I can't wait to talk to Brant. I can't wait to have Brant on to talk to all of you about that. And with Kat, I've been loving Like Father, Like Daughter. The issue, can you see it? Move Beta Ray Bill. There is Like Father, Like Daughter. That is issue number 4. Issue 5 just came out, but this is autograph wall, and Kat actually autographed this issue, so that's issue 4. And right above that, that's Ember 0, where we got Ember issue 1. Ember issue 1 is behind my head. So here's Ember issue number 1. We're going to be re-releasing. Brant's redoing this. Brant's redoing this book. Reforged. It's going to be huge. I back both. Good. I hope you come on next week, Simon. We're going to be talking with Brant and Kat about their books. Following your Instagram now. Thank you, David. I appreciate that. And I'm going to follow you back when I get on Instagram later. But if you want, back both Kickstarters. We're going to have both of them on hopefully next week. So we're going to have a fun AMA next week. And I'm looking forward to it. But like I was saying, with Like Father, Like Daughter, I'm super excited for issue number 6. Kat's done an amazing job with issues 1 through 5. And issue 6 is going to have some crazy stuff. I don't want to spoil issue 5. She did on Comic Book Weekly. I'm not. But it spins out of what happened at the end of issue number 5, issue number 6. I'm looking forward to it. And if you missed out, this is your way to get the first 6 issues of Like Father, Like Daughter. I'm really excited for both Kickstarters. Let's get both of them funded. Let's go. And then next week we'll talk with both Kat and Brant about these books and about Kickstarter and about their experiences and yada yada. So make some questions up so we can ask them. And we got great show. Keep up the good work. Thank you, Justin. I really appreciate that. Have a great night, DA. Thank you. You too. I got that already. You back both. I got that already. Just got my Like Father, Like Daughter trade. I did as well. It's going to be part of the whole video. I'll be backing this one too. Awesome. And Justin, I hope you also consider backing The Last Ember Reforged. Brant really worked hard. It's The Last Ember issue 1 with more pages, just like we did with the deluxe edition for Celestial Falcon. So hopefully you'll consider that. Have a good night, everybody. Take care. Keep reading, keep collecting. I'll be seeing all of you really soon in the next one. But get those trade paperback. Later, everybody.